With West Ham back in Premier League action tomorrow against Wolves, I decided to get my phone out and get some sexy content for you. And I'm not talking about the Kerry Katona WhatsApp nudes. No, none of that here. I've got in touch with some of the friends of Hammers Chat that are going to be sending in their opinions after every West Ham game. I said, oi, got 4 questions for you. Would you mind answering it? They all kindly said yes. Oh, yes. Anyway, enough about that. They said yes, but if you want to get involved, you want to send us your opinions after West Ham games, I'll tell you how at the end of the video. That's enough from me. That's enough from Kerry. Let's hear from the West Ham fans.
Well, personally, I was in 2 minds about the whole going back and playing football thing originally, but I think now that people are back at work and Primark's open, then we might as well let the footballers go back to work. So I'm kind of see why we are playing the games now, and for me personally, again, I think that football matches without supporters lacks the drama. I think supporters are really key part of football these days. Well, always have been, and but I don't really see what else they could have done. If we are going to conclude the season, then we were going to have to do it behind closed doors, because otherwise we are in breach of all COVID-related structures. So will it work for us? It might do in some of the away games especially, but I'd like to think that players have got enough professionalism and discipline to blast through it. So, I don't know. We'll find out, won't we?
As much as I'm excited for footy to be back, at the same time I'm very nervous to see how we're going to do. Obviously, with all the time off, you don't necessarily know what the mentality of the players are like and how fit they all are. Hopefully the break has helped, but I mean, I'm not too sure. I honestly think we'll do better without a crowd. I know that sounds really silly, but sometimes us, the crowd, we can be very daunting and very strict with how we tell them how we feel. That we aren't afraid to fucking yell, boo, swear, make the atmosphere feel incredibly negative. At the same time, I mean, we do a brilliant job at making such a positive atmosphere, but I feel like if they know they're doing rubbish, they might do a bit better dealing with it, rather than having a whole entire stadium basically make you feel like poo. But again, I don't know. I also feel like we could be really rubbish without a crowd, because we're not there to motivate them and cheer them on. But it's luck of the draw. We're either going to be fine or not fine, but I'm hoping we'll be fine.
Football season's back on this week. Bit of a result, really. I've not really missed it as such, I suppose. Maybe that's because our season hasn't gone to plan. Been playing a lot of golf, keep myself occupied, but yeah, you know, going forward, I think the break done us a bit of a favour. Gets the team back together, hopefully a bit of unity. Moyes has given a couple of players a bit of a kick up the arse, and I can only see it being a positive for our bad season, if I'm honest with you. I think it was better that we finished the season, because I think mathematically, or points per game, I think we were in the relegation zone. I've seen it a couple of times, I'm sure I have. But yeah, you know, going forward, it's a positive in that respect.
Premier League's obviously returning. No football fans. Now, how's that going to affect West Ham? Well, personally, I think it'll be a help for some players and a hindrance for others. But on the main, I really do have concerns. Mainly because even though it's a long time away, yeah, I'm looking at that last game at Villa, because it's very likely we're going to be in a situation where everything comes down to that last game. Final day, relegation decider, at home, due to have home advantage. I think as much as I'm not necessarily a big fan of London Stadium, as much as I think the atmosphere there isn't great at times, I think games like that, final game of the season, everything on the line, the importance of the game, I think the fans get up for those occasions, and I think the fans would have been a massive help in that game. All that's been taken away from us, that advantage. That's now gone. So that just keeps playing on my mind. hopefully, let's just hope, we go on a good run and that last game becomes irrelevant and we're safe before then. Player that may surprise us, now I want to go with Sebastian Haller. Now, whilst that shouldn't be a surprise, considering his price tag last summer and his reputation he brought with him from Frankfurt, he struggled to settle at West Ham, and he didn't really live up to that reputation, did he? Let's face it, certainly not in the first part of the season. But since Moyes came in, we've seen a little partnership now and again with Antonio that seemed to look quite promising. I think Moyes has started to get a little bit of a tune out of him. And I don't know, I've just got a feeling he's going to come back and he's going to be vital, and we're going to need him. We really are. We are going to need him. We're going to need a striker to come in those final 9 games, score 5 or 6 goals, and go on a little good run. So Sebastian Haller, I'm gonna show a bit of faith in the lad.
I hope that a few of our more expensive players can put the shirt on and do something. I'd like to see Haller score a few more goals to warrant his price tag, and maybe Anderson to play like he does in most away games and bring on some of that form.
The player that I want to surprise me, or feel like will surprise me, is probably someone at the back like a Bonner. But again, I don't really know. I feel like most of them might surprise me because I feel like we aren't going to be good. But it's just one of these. I'm just so negative about we're going to be bad, we're fighting for relegation, so I'm not entirely sure. I'm hoping our defence surprises me because there have been some underlying issues, but again, you never know.
If any player's going to really surprise us, I think it'll be Felipe Anderson. Look, we all know he's got it there. It's there. He is a really good player, but he's been poor all season. But I'm now thinking that perhaps, behind closed doors, the supporters, when the supporters were there, they were getting on his back. And I think now that we're behind closed doors, without that kind of negative feedback and without that frustration groans when he tries to do something that doesn't come off, I'm hoping they'll rediscover some confidence and some form, because I do just think it's confidence that's stopping him being as good as he could be. And let's face it, a fire in Felipe Anderson is a force for any team outside the top 6 in the Premier League, and arguably for one or two of the ones inside the top 6. So watch out for Felipe Anderson to surprise a few people.
I feel like the player we're going to rely on the most, or will do us well, is either going to be Pablo Fornals or Antonio. Just feel like if Moyes plays them in the right formation with the right support, they could really help do us some justice, especially with how challenging our games are coming up. I just hope he just does the right decision.
Well, if there's one player who I think will be really important to us, it'll be Fabianski. Okay, look, we can always score a goal. This team is pretty good at getting the ball in the back of the net. We do score goals, but we give away so many chances, and then we will continue to do so until we sort the fullback thing out, especially. So Fabianski is paramount. If he plays really well in those remaining 9 games, I think it is, then we will go a long, long way to keeping us up, because I think we'll concede, but if we can win 2-1 rather than having to win 3-2, it will make a major difference. So a top performing Fabianski is paramount for us to stay up this season.
I think Rice and Noble are going to be the key men for us here to keep our team together in a bit of unity, give players a kick up the arse where needed.
Our most important player, Mark Noble, the captain, the leader. I think in times like this, where a lot of uncertainty, unprecedented situation for all these players, playing with no fans, a lot of them are going to be worried about the situation of playing for health reasons, understandably so. You are going to need that leader on, and even more importantly, off the pitch, and that's why I think he's going to be vital. He's obviously going to be the one, he's going to have to get these lads together. We know the severity of the situation we're in, and I think team spirit, the camaraderie, I think all that is going to be vital. I really do. It's going to be of the utmost importance. So the captain for me is just going to be so important during this run-in.
Will we stay up? That's the big question. Okay, look, it's between us, Bournemouth, Brighton and Watford. I think Watford are too good to go down. So I think it's between us, Bournemouth and Brighton. Now, we've got some rough fixtures. Let's just look at it technically. We've got some difficult fixtures, especially the first three back. But Bournemouth and Brighton's are actually worse. They've got some real corkers coming up. And I think on paper and in practice, we have a better team than both Bournemouth and Brighton. So what it comes down to is, can Moyes get our team firing at anything close to their potential? If he can, we'll stay up. And I think one of Bournemouth or Brighton will go down. I think this is quite a weak Bournemouth team. I think it could be them. But, you know, but I don't think it'll be us. I think we've got enough to keep us up this season, and we need to improve next season. That's a whole other video. But yeah, I think we'll manage it. If we don't, it will be disastrous for us, and it will be down to Moyes, because I think the players are there. But I'm keeping the faith and predicting that we'll stay up this season.
Will we get relegated? Now, this is such a hard question to answer, it really is, because we don't know how we're going to perform with no fans in the stadium. I can't go off previous form now. That's out the window. It was for one, it was a long time ago, and the circumstances were completely different. So, and this is the same for every single team in the league. We just don't know. If I had the chance to watch us against Wolves first and then answer this question, it'll be a lot easier, wouldn't it? So for now, the pessimist inside me, I'm going to say that I've just got a horrible feeling we will go down. I really do. And it's going to be forever marred as a season that was affected by, obviously, the pandemic. So I just have a horrible feeling about it. But let's hope I'm wrong. Like I say, we know a lot more after the Wolves game. We might play Wolves, beat them, play brilliant football, and then my answer would be completely different. But for now, I'm sorry, I think we'll be going. Thanks for listening. See you later.
I want to say we won't get relegated, but I'm not going to deny there is a part of me that worries we will, because if we don't get this right, we're gonna get relegated. But if we do get it right, then we'll be fine. But it's one of these, we're only gonna find out as the weeks go on. But I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed and say no, we won't get relegated.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we don't go down. I think the only reason why we won't go down is because there's worse teams than us, and there's worse teams that have a bad run going in. Villa have got hard games, but again, you know, it's going to be the same for all clubs. Everyone's got hard games. It's not going to be the same. No fans in the grounds, no atmosphere. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's really weird, mate. I don't really know what to expect, to be honest with you. Probably a bit like myself when I used to play a bit of semi-pro. There's probably about 20-30 people in the ground, and yeah, it's just weird. But I hope that, you know, a few of our more expensive players can put the shirt on and, you know, do something. I'd like to see Haller score a few more goals to warrant his price tag, and maybe Anderson to, you know, play like he does in most away games and, you know, bring on some of that form. But yeah, you know, going forward, all we can do is just play 100% every game. And if we lose, we lose. If we win, we win. As long as we give it a go, that's all I can really ask for, really. Wolves is a big game for us, massively important, and let's just hope we can get a result. It's not going to be easy, but again, it's not going to be easy for any club. So, yeah, just think positive, boys, and let's get 3 points against Wolves. That'd be a lovely result, wouldn't it?
There you have it. That's it, finished. The sexy content is over. Not this stuff. That wasn't very sexy, to be honest with you. It was a bit old, underwhelming perhaps. But enough about Mike. If you've enjoyed this video, drop a like on it. But if you want to get involved, if you want to send us your opinions after the West Ham games, then email us, hammerschat@gmail.com. All you need is a mobile phone, and that's to get involved, not for Kelly's photos. All you need is a mobile phone, and you can give us your opinions after every West Ham game, and we will put them on our YouTube channels. Email us, and we'll tell you how. But thanks to those guys for sending in their thoughts. Hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. Drop a like on the video if you have. Subscribe to me around here, and we will see you tomorrow for the return of the Premier League football for West Ham as we take on Wolves. Catch you in a bit.